evening, everybody, and welcome back. This evening we're wrapping up a little short jaunt out to Tyler State Park near Tyler, Texas. If you live near here and you've never been out this area, you ought to come check it out. It's a beautiful little park. It's got about 18 miles of hiking trail, 800 and something foot of elevation changes on the trail. Got a big beautiful lake here. It's definitely worth the visit. 18 miles, not a lot of trails for an old ridge runner, but just enough to get you out and get you sweating a little bit on a warm day. So definitely worth coming out here and seeing. And big piney woods. Trail goes up into the ridges, the piney ridges, drops back down into some of the hardwood bottoms. It's definitely a beautiful hike. But this evening I want to take the time and try to do a gear breakdown for y'all, what I'm currently planning to take with me on my hike to the Appalachian Trail, which is coming up in just a little over 2 months. Well, I guess getting close to 2.5 months, but time's winding down. I think we've got everything kind of dialed in. Most of what I have, I've had for several years. I've been planning this trip a long time. I did a lot of gear reviews. I'm not necessarily always looking for the lightest item. Really looking for something that I know is going to be strong, durable, going to make the trip with me. I like things that have been well tested by other people on the trail, and that's how I kind of came to what I have. First item I got, I'll cover is my tent. My tent is a Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. Now, I don't know if the Fly Creek would still be considered UL by today's standards, but at the time I bought it 3 years ago, it was a UL tent, and it only weighs in at 2 pounds 3 ounces, which is not very bad for a two-person tent. And I've got the two-person tent, so I can put all my gear in there real easy. There's plenty of room. There's room for me to sit up in there, change, put on my shoes, whatever. It's long enough for, I'm 6 foot even, it's plenty long enough for me to stretch out and never touch either end of it. It's a good, roomy, dependable, and still lightweight tent. So we'll show you a little something more about the Big Agnes. So the Big Agnes is, I guess they call it a 3-season tent. It's got the full tent that goes on with the no-see-um bug liner on it. And then you got the rain fly that fits over it. The rain fly creates the vestibule here for cooking or whatever. Place to put your old stinky shoes while you're in there sleeping at night. But yeah, it zips up and it gives you that. But you can see there's plenty of room in here for whatever. It's got the little spot up here to stick your light at night, your headlamp or whatever. It's like I say, it's not the lightest tent on the market, but it is a good, really lightweight tent, and I'm really fond of it. Like I said, I've had it close to 3 years. I've been through some pretty severe rainstorms, some 40-something mile-an-hour winds. It stood firm. I've never had any issue with it. If I have any complaint about this tent, as you can see here, it's you enter it from the end. I would rather have a side entrance. It's just you got to crawl in, turn around, and then get in position. You can see on this one I've actually got it set up so my head's down on the shorter end, but you get up in the morning, you got to get turned around to come out. I think I would like a side entrance a whole lot better. Also, if you're cooking here in your little vestibule, you're laying on your stomach and reaching straight out in front of you trying to cook. It'd just be a lot better with a side entrance. So if I had any complaint about the Big Agnes, it's merely the fact that it's entered from the end. Second item on my list, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and show you, is my sleeping bag. It is the Kelty Cosmic Down, rated at 19 degrees. It is a down sleeping bag. This is a large. This thing is plenty roomy. Again, like I say, I'm 6 foot and not a tiny little guy, but I got plenty of room to move around in this thing. Again, not the lightest thing on the market, but it's not bad. It's still a good, pretty lightweight. It's called a UL, but like I say again, I've had it for close to 4 years. Just don't really fall under UL standards anymore. Next is my sleep pad. I've actually tried several sleep pads. I've gone through the Thermalite, ProLite. I've tried several of the REI brand sleeping pads. I've tried just about every major one on the market. And I was going with the Thermalite, ProLite. And that's what I thought I had pretty much settled on. But I ran across this thing just by accident, really. I kind of got it for a little prize or whatever for donating money to some little cause, and I got it and I threw it in the back seat of my car for a while. Didn't even mess with it, and then one day I just decided to drag it out and give it a try, and haven't parted with it since. This thing is an Outdoor Vitals Mummy UL, and this thing is quiet. It's really comfortable. It's one of the better sleep pads I've been on, and it's got, I don't know what the R rating is on it, but it's got a fiber feel inside that you can feel when you squeeze it. But it's warm and comfy. It comes with this little pillow, which has, I don't know, some kind of cover on it, soft cover, so it's really comfortable. It also comes with this little bag, which is a tote sack for it, that doubles as an air pump. It pumps up both the pillow and the bag. And what you do is, you just pop the sack open, fill it with air, close it up, roll it up, and pump the air into there. It takes about 7 pumps with this thing to air the pad up, less than 1 pump to fill the pillow up. But it's not, some people might consider that excess weight to have that bag alone. It's not heavy, but it's still something extra. But for me, it's well worth it not to have to sit and blow that thing up by mouth every evening after a hard day's hiking. So yeah, that's my bag. The Kelty Cosmic Down, my sleeping pad, Outdoor Vitals Mummy UL. While I'm sitting here, I might as well show you, this is my headlamp. It's just a Petzl Actic. I've had it for several years. I've been nothing but happy with this little headlamp. It's got several different settings on it, so yeah, it's just all around good. So my next item is my backpack. It's the Osprey Exos 58 liter backpack. It is it weighs in at 1.9 pounds empty. This is not the lightest pack again on the market. It's a framed pack, but it still is light, and probably the most used pack that I've seen on the trails everywhere I go is the Exos packs. And the Osprey Exos is just a very well-known, lightweight, sturdy, tried and true little old backpack. So that's what I'll be taking. I've had it now for a little over 2 years, and I don't have any kind of wear and tear showing on the thing. It's just a good, dependable pack. My water filter is the Sawyer Squeeze. I don't want the Sawyer Mini or Micro. They're just too little. The flow rate's so bad on them, I just can't hardly stand them. But the Sawyer Squeeze comes with the little bags you use. You fill with water, screw them onto here, and then squeeze the water into something whenever you're using it. But I use the smart water bottle, and what I'll do is I'll take several smart water bottles with me and fill them up with the dirty water, and then just screw this right on, and you can drink right through the thing like you would with the Life Straw. You just squeeze it from the bottle right into your mouth. You squeeze it into your cook pot, whatever. So it's a good thing. And then you got to use the smart water bottles. I've tried several other brands, that Life Water or whatever, that look like smart water bottles, but they don't fit it right. It's got to be the smart water bottle. And the smart water bottle, if you get the little sport cap that comes with them, the little snap open sport cap, you can fill it with clean water and press it against here and back flush your filter with it. Don't use tap water. They tell me tap water will mess up the filter, but you can use, if you just buy a new bottle of smart water or whatever, and the fresh distilled water or whatever, you can squeeze it back through to back flush your filter. Next thing, my cook set. Pretty basic. I just got my little cook set, comes from Walmart. It's a Stanley. It's actually two different Stanley gear pieces of gear. This part here, this cup comes, it's the little Stanley cook set. I think it's about $12. It comes with 2 little coffee cups and all, which I don't use. The other is just a standard little Stanley cup. It's $4 or $5 at Walmart. And if I can get it out there. So anyhow, then I've got the hot lips thing on it, because I got delicate little old lips when I go to drink that hot coffee in the morning. But anyhow, so I got 2 cups, which I know some people consider that, again, a bit of waste of weight, but you know, I guess you call it my luxury item. I like to be able to drink my coffee and have my oatmeal at the same time in the morning, so I got both. Now inside of here, that's my little stove. It's a E-Tech City. I had never heard of this brand, but I bought this thing about 6 years ago on Amazon, and I've had nothing bad with this little stove. After 6 years of hard use, it still works great. The little clicker still works, the igniter. Pretty simple. Just you just spin these around into place, flip these little tabs out, and then you screw it on top of the little tank, and she's ready to go. And it cooks good. Good cooking little stove. I think I paid $6 for it about 6 years ago. It's just been a good one. Also inside my set, I have the little tank, and so like I say, this just screws right on there, and then set this thing on it and it's ready to go. So all you do for my set, flip this, you got to flip this upside down going back in the Stanley set. If you drop it this way, it won't drop all the way down. It hits down here by the taper. Flip it upside down, drop it in, close your little stove up. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. There we go. That drops in there. I usually have a bandana I put in there just for lifting hot things off if I'm cooking over a fire or something, but I don't have it right now. I don't need it when I'm cooking over my little stove. The handles and all don't get that hot, but if I put them over a fire, then yeah, they get hot. But anyhow, so it's got a little lid fits on, and it'll fit either one of the cups, though my hot lips messes it up a little bit, but it'll fit either cup. And then this just collapses down on there, locks it in place, goes in here, drop it inside of the little mesh bag, and you're ready to go. The other thing, my food bag, clothes bag, whatever, is these little camouflage bags here. These are Gecko brand dry bag. I actually got these things, my niece and I were floating on tubes down the river. Needed something to stick all our gear in, and I stopped at a Buc-ee's gas station and bought these things probably 3 years ago. And you know, they're pretty cheap, $10 for 3 of them, and they've been good. You know, like I say, when we riding on the tubes, they float along next to you, submerged partially in the water, and I've never had them leak. They do very well. Good bags. So anyhow, that's what I'll have for my food, and they just, you know, like so many others, they just roll down, and you reach around, snap the ends together, and then you can hook your line to it, and throw it over the branch, or you know, throw your line over the branch, and then drag it up for the bear bag. So anyhow, that's what I'll be using for that. My rain gear is just the Frog Togs Walmart special. You know, nothing special about my rain gear, but it's lightweight, it's fairly durable, cheap enough that it don't matter if you do get out there and you get it tore on a branch or something. You slap a piece of duct tape on it and you head on down the trail, and then when you get to another town with a Walmart, just go in there and get you another one. They're cheap enough, it don't matter. So yeah, that's what I got. My full set of frog togs. I don't wear the rain pants generally when I'm hiking, but when I'm in town doing laundry, I may have to slip them on now and then, just for everybody else's benefit. My puffy is Cool, K-U-H-L, Cool brand, downfield. It's only a 600 down, so it's not as warm as some. I have another Arctics that's a little warmer, but as a general rule, if I got my wool underlayer on and then a shirt and then that puffy, and I'm hiking, that's generally enough. Now I'll get moving around in camp or sitting around in camp when I'm not doing much. I may be wanting that Arctic and I may have it sent to me, but that's what I'll be starting out with on that. My shoes is the Ultras. I have actually bought several pair. I have the Ultra Long Peaks. I have 2 pairs of them that one pair I'll start with, one pair I'll ship to me about probably 400 to 500 miles up the trail. And then I've got 3 pair of the Temps that when I go through my Ultras, my Long Peaks, I'll switch to the Temps. And hopefully with all those, that'll get me at least near the end of the trail. So I've always worn Merrell hiking boots before, but recently I've been trying the trail runner type shoes, and yeah, I'm definitely a fan. And the Ultras I tried the Solomons. I have trouble with plantar fasciitis, however they say it, and it seems to affect me way worse when I wear the Solomons than it does with the Ultras, and that zero drop style of them and the really wide toe box. That definitely didn't take long to become my favorite shoe. So both the Temps and the Long Peaks got the same toe box and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely, that's what I'll be wearing. And I'll just, like I said, I've already bought them. I'm putting about 20 miles on each pair and then boxing them back up, and then I'm going to ship them to myself, you know, at different points along the trail. So yeah, that's what I'll be wearing. Also on my pack, I have the Spot GPS locator that I'll be carrying. It's more for everybody else's benefit than it is mine, but of course that'll make it so the family can keep up with me in real time, exactly where I am at any time. But it does have a few pre-programmed messages that I can send, or you know, as I'm trekking along. And it also it's got the SOS button, so if you get out there and you get in some kind of trouble, yeah, you press that and hold it for, I think it's 5 seconds, and then it'll send a signal to the whatever local rescue squad or whatever. Let them know that it's a distress signal. Let them know exactly where you're at and that you need help. So even if you have a phone with you, if you've got this, you can call 911 and get help. Tell them what the problem is, but at the same time press the button on this and it lets them know exactly where you're at, so they can come right to you. So because sometimes on the trail it's a little bit difficult to explain exactly where you are. So anyhow, I've got that. The other thing, my trekking poles, they're just the REI Traverse. They're just a basic, you know, nothing special REI trekking pole, but they do have the cork grips. I won't use anything but the cork grips because they don't get slippery, you know, when your hands get sweaty. They hold up, you know. And again, these I've had for 2.5 years, and you can see the cork and everything's in good shape. I do need new ends. I'll get them before I start, but other than that, yeah, that's my trekking poles. Okay guys, so anyway, for now, this is the gear that I'll be taking. Of course, I also have merino wool underlayers that I'll have, and darn tough socks. Nothing but darn tough socks. So I'll probably take 3 pairs of socks, you know. Might take just a pair of shorts to put on whenever I'm in a hotel or something, but most likely not. I'll probably basically be wearing what you see right here. These are Prana. They're a dry fit type pants. If you wear them in the rain, when it quits raining, 5 minutes after it quits raining, they're dry. They're really lightweight pants, but durable, and so they're really good. And the shirt, I couldn't even tell you what brand it is. I think it's actually a Columbia, one shade, but it also lightweight, dry fit. Even though it's long sleeves, it's really lightweight, and so I'll probably take a t-shirt to switch into now and then on them really hot days, but as a general rule, this shirt, if it's cold, with the wool underlayer, and my smart wool underlayer bottoms, and like I said, that's what I'll have with me when I start my through hike on March 14th, which is just a little over 2.5 months away. So I'll be seeing y'all then. Okay, everybody, so that's about it for my gear. I hope that somebody finds this helpful when they're trying to plan their own through hike or any other kind of hike. Like I say, my gear is not the lightest gear you're going to find on the market, but it's not. It's close to being UL. I do, like I say, I lean more toward looking for lightweight but still solid, dependable. I want to know it's going to make the distance. Everything I've got, I've had for a while. I've tested it well. I've also watched lots of other YouTube videos of other people hiking, and I know with some of the Dyneema products, the Cuban fiber, people have been having a lot of trouble with leaks, condensation, whatever along the way, and I've just never heard any complaints yet about the Big Agnes tents, other than, again, some of the people have the ones like mine, and it got that end entrance, which is a little annoying, especially if you're trying to hike 2 people in there. But then again, if you have a side entrance and you got 2 people, you're going to climb over somebody to get in. But these tents, even though they're called a 2-person tent, they're not really designed for 2 people. I don't think you'd have to be very friendly if you're going to pack up in that thing every day for very long, so but it is plenty of room to get your gear in there with you and still move around a bit. So yeah, that's my gear, and again, like I say, I hope this helps you planning your own hike, or just figuring out your gear for just your little hikes about town. This is just overall, this is good gear, and I think you'll love it. So anyhow, that's about it for me for now. Just counting down the days till I start my trip, and I'll be checking back with y'all a little further up trail.